Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
A Minnesota man is facing multiple charges after authorities say he sexually abused two young girls multiple times.
26-year-old Charles Johnson of Parker's Prairie is charged with 6 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct.
Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with one of the victim's family members today, who says she was the one who turned Johnson into police. We want to warn you, the details you are about to hear are disturbing.
Kirsten Knutson says inappropriate actions by her young stepdaughter on Monday led her to discover a parent's worst fear.
I caught her touching my son. I questioned it as a mom on where she learned it from. I had to kind of reassure her she's not going to get in trouble, just to explain it to me.
Knutson says she video recorded the entire 2-hour conversation to use as evidence if needed.
She described it as he unzipped his pants and he had the girls play with him.
Knutson says she also later recorded her confrontation with Charles Johnson.
I don't know, to me it seemed like he had no remorse.
Court documents say Johnson turned himself into police on Tuesday and admitted to police that in the summer of 2017 there were 3 similar incidents with 2 young victims, ages 2 and 3 years old. Johnson told police he has felt extremely guilty since it happened and says nothing has happened since.
All she told me was that he told her not to say anything. Her words were that she would get in big trouble.
Knutson says she feels like the victim's mother should also be in trouble and says she wants the kids to be placed in her home until the investigation is over, and says she and her fiance are now looking for an attorney to gain full custody of the victim.
I looked to her like she's obviously my own child.
In Otter Tail County, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
And if convicted on all 6 charges, Johnson could face over 100 years in prison.
The storm team has been keeping a close eye on a system moving our way. They've been doing it for days, and now it's here. And parts of the viewing area are dealing and will be dealing with some trouble tonight. Hutch, what's the latest?
Well, latest is, as you looked at that sky cam there, the skies are darkening from Fargo and points north and east for this evening. That's where the main threat is going to be. More on that in a minute. It is First Alert Weather Day tonight and again tomorrow as we take a look at what's going on the radar. First and foremost, here we go. I think we might be on the, okay, well, there we go. Let's take a look. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at that risk for severe weather from Fargo in the northwest parts of Minnesota. We have an enhanced risk. Numerous severe storms are going to be likely, surrounded by a slight risk of severe storms elsewhere. And those storms are also potentially going to be severe, but we'll get here in the overnight hours. Storms forming from Fargo all the way up to northeast North Dakota, northwest Minnesota, rather, as we see Clay County here. A very stout storm, a lot of lightning over Gary, a lot of lightning over northern parts of Clay County right now. And that is where we find our storm chaser Eric Whitehill keeping his eyes on this southern storm right here. Here's a look at his video feed. There is some updraft, a lowering base of the cloud that's making its way through. And as that works its way off to the north and east, we'll continue to monitor. There's also the potential for, well, look at these. The tallest clouds around right now, over 50,000 feet high in the atmosphere, and the hail risk is starting to go up just a little bit, not far from you in the Gary area. So it's hot, it is humid, and our storm risk continues into the evening for northwest Minnesota, where we have some very sultry and sticky air. I'll have hour-by-hour details on our forecast for tonight. Just know if storms form in your area, they could quickly become severe. All modes of severe weather are possible, and we'll keep you ahead of the storm right here.
All right, thanks. You always do, Hutch.
Officials are investigating the cause of a fire that broke out at North Dakota State University before 1 o'clock this afternoon in a research lab at Ladd Hall. According to university's website, Ladd Hall is listed as a chemistry building. Crews were able to contain it to that one room. Classes will be starting on the 24th, so the fire department and NDSU will be working with students who use that particular building.
We now know the names of the people who were involved in a deadly crash in North Fargo yesterday. The man who died is 30-year-old George Cantu, and the passenger is 28-year-old Summer Lone Dog. We still don't know the extent of her injuries. The crash happened at around 6 yesterday morning when their car was going west on 11th Avenue North and smashed into a tree. Police say alcohol and speed were factors in the crash.
The remains of a newborn girl have been buried again in Valley City a year after they were exhumed for a cold case investigation. The infant's body, later to be called Baby Rebecca, was found in the underbrush near the Valley City State University campus back in April of 1981. Investigators revealed the child died from asphyxia shortly after birth. Police exhumed the remains last July, sent them to a lab in Texas for DNA testing to find her parents. The search for her parents continues.
Police are looking for a man involved in a fight behind a downtown Fargo bar last Friday. Timothy Berg was one of the two in the fight. He was taken to a hospital with serious injuries. The man who took off is described as black with a medium build and short hair. At the time of the fight, which was behind the Bismarck, he was wearing light-colored shorts and a dark shirt. If you have any information, go ahead and call police at this phone number, 241-5777, or you can text a tip, 451-7660.
Two people are in jail tonight following a chase in West Fargo. Cody Haman and Kiana Chenzi ran from officers while they were conducting a traffic stop around 10 o'clock last night. Police say they jumped out of the moving car, which ended up hitting a light pole. They then ran into the area of 2nd Street East. Police say that Haman ran into an apartment complex to take apart a gun and try to hide the pieces. The police later found them. He was found in an apartment bedroom. Both were arrested.
The search continues for a man who police say broke into a Moorhead apartment building this morning. It happened before 3 a.m. in the 3200 block of 9th Street South. The property manager says it was more of a domestic dispute. A woman was trying to get away from the man at the time, and she was trying to get inside the security door by buzzing apartments for help. The man found her entryway and broke the glass door. Authorities did a welfare check to make sure the woman was okay.
We're far from the holiday season already. Porch pirates have been hitting homes in the Fargo area. One family living in South Fargo captured video of a man taking packages off their front porch while they were away for the weekend. Police responded and told them, and there's not much that they can do. Last year, the city attorney office implemented a new policy of not giving priority to package thefts since there are many, but the neighborhood is responding.
I said, how about we all just do that from now on? If you see packages on each other's steps, let's just take them and text each other and say, hey, I have your packages.
The United States Postal Service told us it's reporting a 50% nationwide increase in parcel volume, yet USPS denied giving us exact numbers Thursday for the Fargo area, citing competition from other shipping companies.
Fargo police are warning you about a new scam. The caller identifies themselves as an attorney soliciting money for a grandson who's been involved in a crash, was injured, and is now in jail. Money is requested in the form of Bitcoin for bail. The information provided by the scammer does go back to a real attorney, but please be aware the scammers do use real names and software to look legitimate. What is not legitimate is an attorney, law enforcement officer, or medical staff calling and asking for payment in the form of Bitcoin or gift cards.
We have updated numbers on COVID-19. Minnesota today reporting another 697 confirmed cases of COVID-19, along with 7 new deaths linked to the illness. All total, 1,685 deaths have been attributed to the disease. In North Dakota, 201 new cases with no deaths being reported today. The death toll in North Dakota now sits at 120.
North Dakota is updating its controversial COVID-19 tracing app. The new app will be called Care19 Alert, and the update will cost taxpayers $40,000. That's over 4 times the original Care19 app price tag of $9,500. The state and app developer, ProudCrowd, faced controversy earlier this year with the original Care19 app. A privacy company alleged problems with how the app handled user privacy and security. Both the state and the app developer denied any wrongdoing. Later on Valley News Live at 6, the Department of Education in Minnesota releases new guidelines for back to school. We'll explain how they plan on helping kids who are struggling with distance learning.
And we're continuing to track storms developing from Fargo up towards Boston, moving northeast at 20 to 25 miles per hour. Risk of severe weather tonight. Your hour-by-hour forecast is next.